It's 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. You're lying in bed, doom scrolling through TikTok because you're dreading the alarm clock that's going to go off in 7 hours. You hate your commute.
This is unacceptable. Look at this mess.
You're tired of your boss asking you for spreadsheets that no one reads. You feel stuck. And then you see him. A 19-year-old kid in a hoodie leaning against a matte black Lamborghini Urus in Dubai. He's holding his phone up to the camera, and on the screen is a Shopify dashboard showing $48,000 in sales for the month. He looks you dead in the eye and tells you it's easy. He tells you that you don't need inventory, you don't need a warehouse, you don't need a degree. You just need a laptop, Wi-Fi, and the willingness to take action. It is the ultimate promise of the modern era, the laptop lifestyle, passive income, total freedom. So, you feel a spark of hope.
This is the most passive income as passive income ever gonna get. The most passive.
Watch the free webinar, you buy the $297 course. You spend weeks building the store, meticulously picking out the font, writing the product descriptions for a Galaxy projector or a posture corrector that you found on AliExpress. You launch your Facebook ads. You hold your breath. And then, ching, that distinct Shopify cash register sound. You made a sale.
What the fuck?
Another, you look at your dashboard, $1,000 in revenue in a single day. The dopamine hits your brain like a freight train. You feel like a genius. You start doing the math in your head. If I do $1,000 a day, that's $365,000 a year. You start mentally drafting your resignation letter. You start browsing Zillow for penthouses. You think you have finally hacked the matrix. But fast forward 45 days. Your PayPal account has been frozen because of a sudden spike in volume, and they are holding your money for 180 days. You have 60 unread emails from angry customers asking why their tracking number says the package is still in a shipping container in Shenzhen. Your Facebook ad account just got banned for a policy violation that no bot can explain to you. And when you finally sit down to do the forensic accounting, the real math that the gurus never show you, you realize a terrifying truth. You moved $30,000 worth of product. You processed hundreds of transactions. You stressed yourself into an ulcer. And your net profit? $142. Actually, if you count the hours you spent watching tutorials, fighting with suppliers, and refreshing your ad manager at 3 a.m., you essentially paid Mark Zuckerberg $15 an hour for the privilege of working for him. Reggie is tired of the get-rich-quick noise and is a regular 9-to-5 guy trying to understand the actual mechanics of wealth. So hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because today we aren't talking about winning products or scaling strategies. We are going to perform a brutal audit on the business model of dropshipping to understand why 99% of people fail.
You're such a loser.
And why the only person getting rich off your online store isn't you. To understand why dropshipping destroys so many bank accounts, we have to look at the fundamental economics of the transaction. The guru tells you that dropshipping is a business, but mathematically, it isn't really a business. It is a very specific, very fragile form of arbitrage. Arbitrage is simply taking advantage of a price difference between two markets. You find a dog bed on AliExpress for $10, you sell it on your shiny website for $40. You keep the $30 difference. Simple, right? That's what the spreadsheet on the webinar showed you. But here is the invisible tax that the gurus conveniently leave out of the YouTube thumbnails. Cost.
Hello?
Attention.
Anyone there?
In the old days of retail, you paid for location. You paid high rent to have your store on Main Street or in the mall because that's where the foot traffic was. In the digital economy, Main Street is the Instagram feed. It is the TikTok For You page. And the landlord isn't a property management company. It is Meta. It is Google. It is ByteDance. And they charge rent. Expensive rent. Let's break down the unit economics of that $40 dog bed using real industry averages for 2026. This is the math they hide from you. You sell the bed for $40. The cost of goods sold, COGS, plus shipping from China is $12. You're left with $28. Still looks great. You're tripling your money. But now you have to acquire the customer.
You have to convince a stranger scrolling through cat videos to stop, click, trust your random website, and enter their credit card info. The average cost per purchase, CPP, on Facebook or TikTok for a generic product like this is rarely under $20 anymore. Ad costs have risen every single year for a decade as more dropshippers flood the market, bidding against each other for the same eyeballs.
I'll take 5.
So you pay Zuckerberg $20 to find the person who buys the bed. Now you have $8 left.
But wait, Shopify takes their transaction fee, 2.9% plus 30 cents. PayPal takes theirs. That's about $1.50. You have $6.50 left. Then you have the churn costs, returns, refunds, products that arrive broken, chargebacks. In dropshipping, return rates can easily hit 10% because the quality control is out of your hands. You don't see the products, you just pray it looks like the picture. If just 1 out of 10 customers asks for a refund, you lose the $12 COGS, you lose the $20 ad spend, and you lose the shipping. That one refund wipes out the profit of your previous 5 successful sales. So let's be generous and say you walk away with $4 of net profit per sale. To make a modest middle-class salary of $50,000 a year, you need to sell 12,500 dog beds. You need to process 12,500 orders. You need to handle 12,500 shipping inquiries. You need to manage thousands of comments. And you have to do all of this perfectly every single day without your ad account getting flagged. And here is the kicker. You don't own the customer. You don't own the product. You don't own the platform. You are simply a frantic middleman passing money from a consumer to a factory and an ad network, keeping a few pennies for your trouble. This leads us to a concept we call the efficiency squeeze. In any supply chain, the entities with the most leverage make the most money. Who has the leverage here? The manufacturer has leverage, they own the goods. The ad platform has leverage, they own the traffic. The customer has leverage, they can charge back. You are the friction. You are the inefficiency. And markets hate inefficiency. In 2015, dropshipping worked well because there was an information gap.
Perfect.
People didn't know they could buy that phone case on AliExpress for $2. They saw your ad, thought it was a cool brand, and bought it. But today, the consumer is smart. They know what Temu is. They know what Shein is. They can reverse image search your product in 3 seconds. Why would they pay you $40 for something they can buy on Amazon with 2-day shipping for $20? You are trying to sell a commodity at a premium price in a world of infinite information. That isn't a business plan, that is a trap. So, if the math is so bad, why are millions of people still starting dropshipping stores every month? Why does dropshipping still trend on Google Trends every January? This brings us to the psychology of the scam. We have to talk about something called the lottery ticket heuristic. Human brains are terrible at probability. We are wired to focus on the magnitude of the potential win, the Lambo, the beach house, the quit my job email, rather than the probability of the win occurring. Dropshipping is marketed not as a business, but as a mechanism for escape. Notice the language used in the ads selling you the courses. They rarely talk about supply chain logistics or brand equity or customer retention. They talk about firing your boss. They talk about traveling the world. They talk about financial freedom. They are selling you a solution to your pain, not a business model for your future. This triggers a dopamine loop similar to gambling. When you launch an ad campaign, you are essentially pulling the lever on a slot machine. You put $100 into Facebook ads, the bet, and you wait to see if $150 comes back out. When it does, you get a rush. It works, I'm rich. When it doesn't, you think, I just need to tweak the creative. I just need to find a better audience. I just need to spin the wheel one more time. We call this the casino funnel. In a casino, the house always wins. In the dropshipping world, who is the house? The house is the ad platform. They get paid whether you make a sale or not. And the house is the guru selling you the shovel. There is a historical parallel here that is almost too perfect. During the California gold rush of 1849, very few miners actually got rich. Most went broke, died of disease, or gave up. Do you know who got consistently, filthily rich? Sam Brannan. Sam Brannan didn't dig for gold. He bought all the shovels, pickaxes, and pans in the region and sold them to the miners at 1,000% markup. He became California's first millionaire. Today's gurus are the Sam Brannans. Think about it logically. Put your emotions aside for a second. If you found a product that was generating $100,000 a month in profit with zero effort, would you A, keep scaling it, hire a team, build a moat around it, and make $10 million in quiet luxury? Or B, film a YouTube video showing everyone exactly what the product is, create a course teaching thousands of people to become your direct competitors, and sell that course for $297? The existence of the course is proof that the course is a better business than the dropshipping store. They are selling you the dream of the gold, because the gold mine is empty.
But let's say you defy the odds. Let's say you are smart, you find a great product, your ads are fire, and you start scaling. You're doing $50K a month, you're clearing $10K in profit. You've made it, right? Wrong, because you have built your house on rented land. This is the darkest side of the industry and the one that breaks people psychologically: platform feudalism. In the feudal system of the Middle Ages, peasants worked the land, but the lord owned the land. The lord could kick the peasant off or raise the taxes, tithes, whenever he wanted. The peasant had no rights, only permissions. In your dropshipping business, you own nothing essential. You don't own the traffic source. Facebook or TikTok or Google owns that. You don't own the payment processing. Stripe or PayPal owns that. You don't own the customer relationship. The product quality owns that. We have spoken to dozens of dropshippers who are making six figures, feeling on top of the world, only to wake up one Tuesday morning to the red banner of death. Your ad account has been disabled. Your PayPal funds have been held for 180 days due to risk. And just like that, the income is zero. The business is gone. Why does this happen? Because dropshipping, by definition, usually provides a poor customer experience. Long shipping times, generic packaging, no support. Platforms like Facebook and PayPal care about their users. If their users buy junk from your store and have a bad time, they stop using Facebook or PayPal. So these platforms are aggressively purging dropshippers. They are the lords evicting the noisy tenants. You are constantly looking over your shoulder. You are living in a state of high cortisol paranoia, knowing that one algorithm update could wipe out your entire livelihood. That isn't financial freedom. That is a high-paid prison sentence with a very insecure lock. Compare this to a real business. If you own a landscaping company and Google shuts down, you still have your trucks, your employees, and your list of phone numbers of clients who trust you. You have equity. If you are a dropshipper and Google shuts down, you have a laptop and a subscription to Shopify. You are building flow, not equity. Flow is money that comes in and goes out. Equity is value that builds up over time and can be sold. You cannot sell a dropshipping store that relies on Facebook ads and a generic AliExpress product. It has no enterprise value. No investor wants to buy a job that requires 14 hours a day of ad management. Once the ads stop, the revenue stops. You aren't building an asset, you are just running on a treadmill, sweating to keep the lights on while the platform owners collect the membership fees.
What's the matter? Don't you want to be rich, boy?
So what's the verdict? Should you just give up and go work in a cubicle forever? No. We are saying you need to calculate the opportunity cost of chasing this specific ghost. The tragedy of the dropshipping trend isn't just the money people lose on ads, it is the time they lose chasing a mirage. We watch smart, ambitious, hungry young people spend their best years, their 20s, staring at Facebook Ads Manager trying to optimize click-through rates for a fidget spinner. They spend 3 years doing this. They might break even, they might make a little money, but what skills have they actually acquired?
They haven't learned how to build a product. They haven't learned how to manage a team. They haven't learned a hard technical skill like coding or engineering. They haven't built a professional network. They have become experts in hacking the algorithm, and the algorithm changes every 6 months, rendering their expertise useless. Imagine if you took those same 3 years, that same hunger, that same late-night drive, and applied it to something with compounding returns. Imagine if you spent 3 years learning to code Python. Imagine if you spent 3 years building a local service business with a reputation in your community. Imagine if you spent 3 years writing or creating content or learning sales in a high-ticket industry. Those skills stack, they compound, a reputation builds. Dropshipping is a burn and churn game. You burn through products, you burn through ad accounts, and eventually you burn out yourself. It resets to 0 every time a product dies. You are Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the hill only to watch it roll back down when the trend fades. Real wealth, the kind that lets you actually sleep at night, comes from building things that become easier over time, not harder. A brand gets easier to sell as more people know it. A skill gets easier to monetize as you get better at it. An investment portfolio grows faster the larger it gets. Dropshipping gets harder over time. Competition increases. Ad costs rise. Margins shrink. You are fighting gravity. So what is the alternative? If you want to make money online, do you have to ignore e-commerce entirely? Absolutely not. E-commerce is real. People buy things online. That isn't going away. But there is a massive difference between dropshipping and brand building.
If you want to survive in 2026 and beyond, you have to invert the dropshipping model.
1. Own the product. Don't sell what everyone else is selling. Create something. Innovate, even if it's a small improvement. If you are selling a dog bed, design a better cover, source better foam, work with a supplier to put your logo on it and custom packaging. Why? Because you can't copy-paste a brand. You can copy a product, but you can't copy a reputation. 2. Own the content. Instead of paying Zuckerberg rent for every single visitor, build an organic audience. Start a TikTok channel about dog training. Build an email list of pet owners. Provide actual value. When you have an audience that trusts you, your customer acquisition cost drops to 0. That is where the profit margin lives. It lives in the trust, not the transaction. 3. Solve a real problem. Dropshipping creates demand for useless junk. Real business fills a need. Look around your life. What sucks? What is broken? What service is terrible in your town? Fixing an unsexy problem like cleaning gutters or organizing spreadsheets for small businesses will make you more millionaires than selling Galaxy projectors ever will. The dark side of dropshipping is that it preys on your desire for a shortcut. It tells you that you can skip the hard part. But the hard part is where the value is. The hard part is the moat that protects your business from competition. If a business can be started in 24 hours with $100, it can be copied in 24 hours by someone else with $100. Do not build a business that can be copied by a teenager in a basement. Build a business that requires you, your skill, your taste, your effort. The reason the 19-year-old with the Lambo wants you to dropship is because he needs someone to buy his course. The reason Zuckerberg wants you to dropship is because he needs someone to bid up the price of ads. The system is designed to extract your capital and your time. Don't be the fuel for their machine. Be the engineer of your own. If this video saved you from buying a $2,000 course on how to get rich with Amazon automation, subscribe and hit that like button. It helps Reggie more than you know. And if you want to know how to actually manage the money you do make, check out this video here where we break down the math of being broke. Class dismissed.